A very good evening and welcome to State of Business, our television's prime-time business news bulletin. I'm Madhusha Palakumara. Let's take a look at the headlines first. Appropriation Bill for 2018 budget presented before Parliament. And Colombo hosts 12th General Assembly of Asian Forum of Parliamentarians on Population and Development. Now the stories in detail. The Appropriation Bill for 2018, which was approved by the Cabinet of Ministers, was presented to the Members of Parliament by State Minister of Finance, Eron Wickramaratne, today. The bill, which was submitted to the Cabinet by Minister of Finance and Media, Mangala Samaravira, had an expected expenditure of 3,982 billion rupees for 2018. This includes 1,308 billion rupees of recurrent expenditure and 668 billion rupees of capital expenditure. Estimated government revenue was 2,175 billion rupees. According to the Ministry of Finance, the budget for 2018 will be drafted in a manner that will promote economic growth and social welfare within a sustainable framework aimed at aiding the growth of the nation. Addressing the media in Colombo this morning, leader of Lanka Samasamaja Party, Tissa Vitarana, stated that SITEM had bypassed the Sri Lanka Medical Council's recommendations in obtaining its registration through the appeals court, thus setting an example for other professional fields to bypass their regulatory bodies. Speaking further, MP Vitarana stated that the Attorney General's Department is taking the side of the government instead of making independent decisions.
SITEM was able to go to the law courts, the appeal court, get a ruling that the registration of SITEM should go ahead, bypassing the medical council, which means the institution which has the capacity to see whether the professional standards have been reached or not is bypassed, and a legal procedure is adopted to go ahead with the registration. Then what is going to happen to the standard of professionals in every field if this practice is allowed? If people can go to the law courts and get a ruling, it's not necessary to go through these legally established bodies. The whole standard of these professions in our country will break down. And the medical council, everyone other than that particular person, had unanimously decided to, they went and made representations to the Secretary of the Ministry. The Secretary of the Ministry understood that what they are saying is correct. And the Secretary is now going to meet the Attorney General's Department officials concerned to have a discussion, because the Attorney General's Department is also unfortunately taking the government's position in this matter without taking an independent position.
Meanwhile, UPF MP Vasudeva Nanayakkara stated that the government is selling state-owned assets which were built by the previous regime to repay debts incurred in the past.
අපේ කාලේ ණයගත්තුවට ඔක්කොම හදාපු ගියාපු දේවල් තියෙනවා. ඒ හදාපු ගියාපු දේවල් විකුණලා තමයි අද මේ ණය ගෙවන්න ඒගොල්ලෝ ලෑස්ති වෙන්නේ. නමුත් බැඳුම් කර වංචාවෙන් ආණ්ඩුවට වෙච්ච පාඩුව පොලි රේට්ටු වැඩිවීම මොනේකින්ද සමනය වෙන්නේ? ආණ්ඩුව මොකක් කරලාද ඒකට උවමනා කරන වටිනාකම එකතු කරන්නේ? වටිනාකමක් නැති ණය බරක් බැඳුම් කර වංචාව. අපේ කාලේ ණය බර ඔක්කොම යම් වටිනාකමක් එකතු කරපු ණය බර. ඒවා විකුණලා තමයි අද ආණ්ඩුව මේ ණය ගෙවන්නේ.
Let's take a look at more news after this break. Welcome back. The inaugural session of the 12th General Assembly of the Asian Forum of Parliamentarians on Population and Development was held in Colombo today. Speaker Kari Jayasuriya was the chief guest during the occasion. The 12th General Assembly is being organized by the Sri Lanka Forum of Parliamentarians on Population and Sustainable Development in collaboration with the Asian Forum of Parliamentarians on Population and Development, and is supported by the Japan Trust Fund through the United Nations Population Fund. The 12th AFPPD General Assembly, held under the theme of Engaging Parliamentarians Pursuing Human Development, provided a forum for Asia-Pacific parliamentarians to redouble their political commitment to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. The meeting was officially opened on the 7th of October in Colombo with the participation of members of parliament from 24 Asia-Pacific countries and was concluded yesterday. Minister of Social Empowerment, Welfare and Kandyan Heritage, SP Dissanayake chaired the event. During the two-day meeting, over 150 participants, including 82 members of parliament and 37 National Committee parliamentary staff from 24 countries in the Asia-Pacific region, jointly reviewed and evaluated the mid-term implementation status of AFPPD's Strategic Plan 2016-2019. The current strategy aims to enhance national capacity building and strategic partnerships, as well as strengthen political influence on agenda setting and policy making in population and development issues.
As parliamentarians, you all would agree that we have to play a pivotal role in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. In a context where 2030 agenda for sustainable development is being implemented at national level, our involvement in the process as parliamentarians has become even more relevant and critical. As a global sustainable development policy framework is set by 2030 agenda, incorporating that policy framework into national legislation is of paramount importance for the successful implementation of the global agenda at the national level. In this context, I believe AFPPD has an even greater role to play in incorporating a population and development issues into national legislations with a view to achieving the SDGs and to leaving no one behind in our quest for sustainable development. Sri Lanka has taken this task seriously. We are the first parliament to establish a separate committee for SPD, for sustainable development, chaired by a young and energetic Deputy Speaker, Honorable Tilanga Sumatipal, who addressed you. We have also recognized the importance of youth and women. Accordingly, legislature has been passed allowing for 25% women representation in Parliament for future elections. Our Deputy Speaker in his speech mentioned about that. Population issues and sustainable development are closely interconnected. Carefully crafted national policies could enable demographic changes, leverage sustainable development and human developments. As parliamentarians, our task would be to craft these policies and advocate for them so that the full potential of the demographic changes could be harnessed to achieve human development and ultimately sustainable development. I am pleased to observe that the theme of the 12th General Assembly of the AFPPD, which we have just concluded, engaging parliamentarians, pursuing human development, is extremely relevant in the present context.
Let's take a look at stocks after this break. Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped by 13.21 points to close at 6,515.84, and the S&P SL20 index dropped by 0.79 points to close the session at 3,796.64. The turnover was 1 billion rupees and 98.8 million shares were traded. Next is Forex rates. With that, we wrap up State of Business for the day. We'll meet you tomorrow with more latest news at the same time. Until then, take care. Good night.